In this video, I'm going to show you how I made a Bimini top for just under 110 bucks. These are all the parts we're going to be using. We've got some turnbuckles, some 1/2 inch EMT conduit clamps, and then I've also got these casters here, and they'll be the base for it. So I purchased this caster, and you can see that I've got it disassembled, and it's got a really nice thick pin. So this is going to be the foundation for the Bimini top here. All I'm doing right now is checking where I have nailers, and I pretty much have plywood all down the length of this boat. So you just kind of have to figure out where you want to center it. And for me, because I've got my tie downs right here in the middle, I need it to close on either side. I don't think it matters that much, but we'll see in the end. Because I'm using a lag bolt, you need to pre-drill the hole for that, and the drill diameter needs to be smaller than not the major of the thread, but the minor. You can. Okay, so I'm using this little swivel ratchet attachment with my cordless so that I can kind of get in at the angles that I need to make things work. And that's about all it really takes. I haven't tightened them down. I'll be careful. I don't want to strip my aluminum. If I do, I'm going to have to go up underneath and put some more wood. So be careful getting these down nice and tight. Okay, now I'm just finishing up these quarter inch lags that were pre-drilled with that 5/32 drill bit and a 7/16 head with that swivel. You can see why you want that swivel head, so you can get in there and get it, 90% of the way, and then use the, I guess, an any fit wrench if you really don't care. But that's all I had on me. So okay, I've got both wheel casters installed. Seems pretty strong. It's not something that, I wouldn't tow with it or anything, but if you went and supported it with more wood underneath, it'd probably be pretty good. We'll see. It's got to handle a lot of shear, and I feel like it's pretty good. These are the outer parts of the caster. I think I'm going to leave them on just to give a little bit of surface area pressure on the conduit after I drill the hole and put it through the middle, and then I'll tighten this up and it will squish in. Okay, so here is my mark. I was at 48 inches plus 6, because I've got about 2 feet coming up, so I'm gonna be around taller than 6 feet and end up somewhere between 6 feet 6 inches on my finished height. Now the radius on the bender is designated on it, and you'll notice that to my line there I've got 6 inches. So if you look over here on the bender right here, it says 6 inches to the arrow. So this arrow right here is where I put my mark, where I started my bend, the 48 inches. Did my bend, and it gives you 6 extra inches. Well, it's a little dark, so let me turn on my headband light here. That'll help a little bit. But basically, using the oscillator tool to cut these, I'm cutting 28 inches off of the joining part of each of these, and that's because that's about where the middle of the bow is. And then I've taken a piece of 3/4 inch conduit that just will slide over the both of these. That way it can never come out, and it'll be super strong, and it'll be able to handle the wind, and it shouldn't bend too much. And if need be, I could tape it so it doesn't slide, but it will have to come apart actually in order for it to be able to have that kind of failure. Okay, I've marked the holes and used a center punch, aka cheapo Phillips and hammer, and basically just going to drill through that with the drill. I'm using a 5/16, which is 0.3125, and that's essentially the size of the pin that fits through there. So you want to make sure and keep the drill parallel to that deck so that you have a nice straight through hole. I've just been pushing it against the brackets to keep it solid. Pushing through. So let me show you what this looks like once it's all finished up. So I've reversed the caster wheel covers and then just pushed the pin through. Just got like a little lock head on one side, like a key for the caster setup, and then it's got a nylock bolt on it right here, and then you can see it just lifts up nice and smooth. I got to do it to the other side, and then put a union in the middle, and we'll have most of it done. And this is how I'm joining the two pieces together. I'm just literally sliding a piece of 3/4 inch right over the 1/2 inch, and both pieces are cut to about the center. Here's how I deploy my DIY Bimini top. Just grab these 2 ropes, pull it up, and then these little turnbuckles, you just have to unhook the pin, hook them right on. Here's the DIY Bimini top with a 6x8 hardware store tarp and EMT conduit, casters. I just removed the wheel, and then I found this cool little D-clip with a bungee, help hold the tarp on. And then over here I've got a turnbuckle, an EMT conduit clamp, and then I don't know what you call these little clasp pin, and so I can tighten this up. And then all my knots, I've just used a clinch knot with multiple 1/2 hitches to hold the extra rope in. Seems to be putting off some good shade. A little bit of zip tie work here and there and a few more bungees, but overall I think it came out pretty good. It doesn't look as good as the store-bought one, but it's really not too bad, and all we're after is some shade when we're out fishing, and we want to be able to buy parts from any store in case something breaks. And by the way, I used 1/2 inch EMT to make all that work with a bender, and then up in there, that's 3/4 inch piece that they're both slid into.